Hello, welcome back to Cooking with Bob. I'm your host, Bob the Martian, and today we're going to be cooking some fresh avocado toast using some very locally sourced ingredients. Our first step is going to be collecting some farm fresh eggs directly from the source, so I'll be with you there gathering those momentarily. So in order to produce our farm fresh avocado toast, we're going to need some of the freshest eggs available. Luckily, I know a guy. Hey, I need some of your specialty products. No, I need 3. No, as soon as you can get them fresh. They need to be very fresh. 25, I'll do 20. So you saw me earlier pulling our order ahead. Hopefully he's got the product ready. Hey.
You got the cash?
You got the good?
You good to do?
Pleasure doing business with you. Alright, back this way. We don't have much time before the avocados ripen. So as you can see here, I've got my locally sourced eggs. They're very, very fresh. And if we go over here, I'm preparing for my avocados to ripen. I've created a program that will calculate the exact millisecond that these avocados will ripen. So all I have to do is wait approximately 35.346 seconds before these will be ready.
Approximately 35.346 seconds later.
Go! Alright, we want to put the avocados into the bowl as fast as possible before they spoil. Alright, now that first avocado is cut, we're going to move on to our second one. We want to remain very fast to avoid, again, spoilage. Just bear with me here while I cut open these avocados. And in a second, we're going to spoon them open to get all of the greeny good stuff out of them. And that's what we can make the guac out of. Alright, we're back. It's time to begin spooning out our avocados. And for this, we're going to want to grab a second bowl out of here. And what we'll do is we'll put all of the shells and everything inside of that bowl. So if you want to follow me along, you want to try to get your spoon along the outside so you can get them all in one go. And you just get the whole thing out. Alright, now that we're done spooning out all of our avocados, I'm going to go wash my hands again, and then we'll come back and I'll show you how to properly mash them and make some delicious guacamole. Now typically you want to use something like an avocado masher for something like this. However, I don't have one of those, so I'm going to use a good old-fashioned fork. You want to make sure to get any little bits out like this that may have slipped through your scalping. Get them out of there. Alright, now that we've thoroughly mashed our guac, it's time to begin making the guacamole. Now there are a lot of modern or updated recipes for this, but I prefer good old-fashioned salt, pepper, some olive oil,
Extra vinegar.
and some lemon. So we begin our process. You want to do a pretty heavy salting just to begin with, because a lot of that's going to get up in there. Same with the pepper. And then you want to try to achieve a nice, fairly thick, but not too liquidy, with your olive oil. Alright, so you can see as we continue mixing all the ingredients in, this is still a bit too thick for my liking. So I'm going to add some fresh lemon juice in and see where that gets us. Now this is good for like a lot of the finer tastes, get a bit of the sourness in there. So that's probably good in terms of lemon juice. I might add a bit more, but we still want a bit more olive oil. Alright, now that our guacamole is done, we can begin frying our eggs, which of course were acquired from our local dealer. Now that our margarine is nearly melted, we're going to start throwing our eggs in. Now, I always try to preserve the yolk, which sometimes can be a bit challenging. So you want to lightly crack it and open it up above like that, making sure the yolk stays intact. And do that for all three. Now we've got our 3 eggs cooking. We can go and grab the salt and pepper. And you want to start salting, you want to salt and pepper them pretty early, which is why I've set it to about medium heat. Just because this gives the salt and pepper time to sink in. Alright, now we're going to move on to toasting our bread. I've already got the toaster plugged in. We did Publix Mountain Bread. Now, our toaster, what I like to do is put it on fairly low and then toast both sides so you can get an even toasting. Forgot to put that second piece in there. Alright, we can let that go. Alright, our eggs are still frying, however our toast has popped up, so we're going to flip it around and put it back in at a slightly lower temperature to toast the other side. Move over here to our eggs. Our eggs are looking pretty good. We could probably begin flipping them fairly soon. You want to try to divide them up first. You can see they're sort of stuck together. And you want to carefully, without breaking the yolk, drop them over. Do the same for this one. And finally, if I can manage it for the third. So our toast is once again popped out, looking a little burnt in the middle, but that's alright. I'll lay it out here. What we want to do, because they are such big pieces, is we can break them in half. Break this big one in half at any rate, and we have a couple smaller, more digestible pieces. So we're going to want to grab our guacamole and giving it a pretty thick, even coating. Kind of like that. Alright, now that we've got our pieces coated, we're going to take the eggs off the burner. Try to slide them on there carefully. Would you look at that? Our homegrown, locally sourced avocado toast with fried eggs. Alright, now that we've finished cooking, it's time for the only standard that really matters. Other people's opinions of your food. Otherwise known as the taste test. Well, what do you think? Can you say that louder for the audience?
Tasty. Give me more.